Hey there. Pull up a chair, grab your favorite drink. Let's dive into one of history's most fascinating stories. Ever heard of Tutankhamun? You might know him as King Tut, but trust me, this guy is way more than just a catchy nickname. He's like the ultimate underdog story wrapped in gold and mystery. So picture this: ancient Egypt around 1332 BCE. The world was already ancient by our standards, with pyramids older than Greece's Parthenon dotting the landscape. And then comes along this young pharaoh, barely a teenager when he takes the throne. His name? Tutankhamun. Sounds regal, right? But here's the kicker. He wasn't even supposed to be king. Life had other plans for him. Tutankhamun became pharaoh at just 9 years old. 9! Can you imagine being handed an entire kingdom before you could even grow facial hair? It's wild. But don't feel too bad for him. His advisors probably did most of the heavy lifting while he learned the ropes. Still, it's kind of mind-blowing that someone so young held such immense power. Now, here's where things get juicy. Before Tut came along, his dad, or stepdad, historians are still debating, Akhenaten, shook things up big time. Akhenaten decided to ditch all the traditional gods Egyptians worshipped and focus solely on Aten, the sun disk. Talk about controversial. People weren't thrilled, and after Akhenaten died, Egypt needed stability. Enter Tutankhamun, who restored the old ways and brought back the beloved god Amun. In fact, his original name was Tutankhaten, living image of Aten, but he changed it to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun, to signal this shift. Pretty savvy move for a kid, huh? Fast forward about 3,000 years. By now, Tutankhamun has been forgotten, just another obscure ruler buried in the sands of time. But in 1922, everything changed. Archaeologist Howard Carter stumbled upon something extraordinary. Tut's tomb, almost completely intact. Imagine opening a door and finding yourself face to face with treasures beyond your wildest dreams. Gold statues, chariots, jewelry, weapons. It was like stepping into Aladdin's cave, except real. But the pièce de résistance, the golden death mask. Oh, you've seen pictures of it, I'm sure. That iconic image of a serene, youthful face gazing out from millennia past. It's breathtaking. The craftsmanship is insane, and it tells us so much about how important Tut was, even if his reign was short. Speaking of which, why was his reign so short? Historians estimate he ruled for only about 10 years before dying mysteriously at around age 19. Was it illness, an accident, murder? Conspiracy theories abound, and honestly, we'll never know for sure. Some say his mummified remains show signs of malaria or a broken leg that got infected. Others whisper about court intrigue and betrayal. Honestly, it's like an episode of Game of Thrones, but set in ancient Egypt. Here's the thing about Tutankhamun. He represents more than just a single life. He's a window into an entire civilization. When we look at his artifacts, we see how advanced the Egyptians were. Their art, their engineering, their spirituality. They believed in life after death so strongly that they packed their tombs with everything they'd need for eternity. Can you imagine planning for forever? And let's not forget the cultural impact. Since Carter's discovery, Tut has become a global sensation. There's the infamous Curse of the Pharaohs legend, which claims anyone who disturbs his tomb will suffer misfortune. Spoiler alert, totally debunked, but it makes for great storytelling. Then there's the pop culture influence. From songs to movies to museum exhibits, Tut's legacy lives on. So, what do you think? Isn't Tutankhamun incredible? Here's a guy who lived over 3,000 years ago, yet his story feels timeless. From his unexpected rise to power to his untimely death and the dazzling treasures left behind, he captures our imagination like no one else. He reminds us that history isn't just dates and dusty relics, it's people. Real, flawed, fascinating humans whose lives echo through the ages. Next time you hear about King Tut, remember, he wasn't just a boy king with a cool mask. He was a symbol of resilience, a bridge between worlds, and a reminder that sometimes the smallest voices leave the biggest legacies. What do you want to know next? Did you have a favorite part of his story? Let's keep chatting. I could talk about this stuff all day.